Welcome back, FE12, Lunatic-Rev 0% growths with the Archer Avatar, Prologue 8. We want to bring Kris and Est instead of Cecile and Ryan. Some quick item and unit rearrangement. We grabbed the support conversation that I should have done last chapter, and the enemy stat requirements are a little strict here. The thieves near us can either have 29 HP or 3 defense, but not both. None of the barbarians can have 10 speed. The Silver Sword Thief on the back right needs 28 HP and 2 defense, and the 11 Sword Thief on the back right needs 13 speed rather than 14. That's all very common though, it's not hard to get all that. Now this chapter is pretty challenging, but if you understand how the enemy AI works in this game, then it's mostly a question of walling off properly and keeping people healthy. Turn 1 we have 2 Steel Sword Thieves, a Steel Axe Barbarian, and a Hunter to deal with, so we offer up the very tanky Ogma to the Barb and Hunter for some great counter damage by doubling, while Athena and Marth chunk down the Thieves. Easy. This kill with Merrick is why the Thief couldn't roll 29 and 3. Now this Barbarian, by the save tile, is linked to the lower Barbarian and the 2 Mages, so we absolutely have to avoid pulling this guy until the waves of enemies stop. So these red tiles inform our positioning for the first few turns. As I said, keeping our frontliners healthy is paramount in this chapter, so we'll be chugging vulneraries, healing with Kris, and even using the Throne's healing. Archer Avatar! The next wave is simply 2 Thieves, so we're setting up Athena and Ogma again. A good question to ask is why Marth is getting this kill. I do want Marth to get C-rank swords eventually, but also the healing in this map just works out the best this way. I think this is a good turn to observe the difference between Hard 3 and 4. This map is only 2 turns slower than in my Hard 3 run, and yet it's significantly less stressful because it's simply not possible to play any faster, and so we're just kind of chilling for these first few turns. So this is a good example of how, when you're trying to play fast, the fact that we're on a harder difficulty doesn't necessarily make the routing harder in certain situations. These 2 new barbarians have hand axes, which, as we saw in Prologue 5, are incredibly weak in this game, but they will double the Avatar, so only Merrick is going to be able to counter safely. As for the second one, note that health is a resource like anything else, and this is a good opportunity to use Kris's health as a resource, because he can survive a hand axe hit. Also, Merrick is only chosen if the weapon triangle advantage over Est is not present, so we had to take her weapons away. As usual, our heavy hitters take on the Thieves. So yeah, this walling off is all very deliberately set up, but since I did all the work coming up with it back in my Hard 3 run, I guess I don't have as much to say about it here. There's only some slight differences so far. Archer Avatar continues to show value, picking up kills every turn without being countered, and therefore not needing heals. Awesome. So that's the end of the waves of enemies. I think I made it look a lot easier than it is, honestly, but we don't want to slow down here. Let's get Ogma healed up and off to pull the next 2 enemies. Merrick is able to avoid needing a vulnerary later by taking the throne for a turn here. This crit from Ogma is not needed, obviously. He would have doubled, though, and I'll continue as if the crit hadn't happened. See here, the Avatar would have killed that Barbarian, no problem. Athena has been one-rounding Archer since we first got her, and that continues here, in position to pull that Barbarian I pointed out earlier, along with all his friends. And she needs at least 21 HP to survive, which she has. Archer Avatar is OP on Lunatic-Rev, man. Killing low health enemies without getting hit is so important, and thankfully we got a new stack of vulneraries. It is this turn where Est first shows her value. I don't see any way to proceed here with Kayn, unless maybe if you were willing to play slower and fall back somehow, but Est can just fly down and one-round this mage, who would otherwise kill Athena on enemy phase. Ogma's going down to 1 HP, that's good planning, baby, and Sita puts the other mage into the dirt. Alright, now this turn makes me a little sad. On hard 3, I healed up and pulled the rest of the enemies as soon as I got here, but unfortunately I'm just barely not going to be healthy enough to do it, so we have to just heal up and wait this turn. Okay, now we're ready. By being in range of 2 of the thieves, we can pull the entire pack. It is this heal on Athena that prevented me from pulling last turn. She does need to already be at full health for the final turn. And then we'll drop a save to rig a crit with Marth's Rapier. But that's the name of the game. Save tiles are free crits. You gotta use them. Now, Sita's Triangle Advantage negates 3 might against the 11 Sword Thief, along with her 6 resistance, resulting in almost no damage taken at all. Merrick fights the other 11 Sword Thief, and Merrick's 10 speed is why we needed this thief to roll 13 speed rather than 14. Est hitting for half of this guy's health is why that thief needed to be 28 HP and 2 defense so that she can 2-round it. Observe again, though, that if Kayn had been here instead of Est, the 11 Sword Thief would have attacked Kayn instead of Merrick, and we wouldn't have gotten that chip damage. And so even if Kayn somehow survived fighting 2 thieves here, I don't see any way that you could have proceeded on the next turn. So again, I think Est really is the call. Marth takes out 11 Sword Thief with the Rapier crit and lives with 1 HP. So again, proper HP management is critical for finishing as fast as possible here. Merrick and Sita are going to team up for a kill, and Ogma teams up with the Avatar. Their thief was allowed to have 3 defense, but only if he had 28 HP, and not 29. Est needs a heal here to fight again, which is why I had to heal Athena to full last turn, because I needed risks here. And now finally, with everyone on the brink of death, Athena 1-rounds Katarina, and we are done in 12 turns, only 2 slower than on hard 3, which I think is pretty good. Now I am planning to continue this run, but it's hard to say when the videos will be up. So, until next time, thank you very much for watching. Archer OP.